go to King's Hut, and I said, "Oh, you eat during the day."
It's a thing. Oh my gosh, Billings, I'm so excited. We have two of the amazing team from Sacred Grounds here. The one and only Damien.
I won't say one and only.
I mean, I don't know any
Maybe
other.
another Damien out there
I
somewhere.
was like, I don't know any other Damiens, do you?
Yeah, got a bit, but that's okay.
Okay.
Not another Damien Forrester.
Actually, I met one today. Actually, this morning. Actually, I had a minute. The mother came in, and her son was Damien. With an O and it was spelled wrong. So
It's so spelled wrong. Did you tell her that she spelled her son's name wrong?
Not quite.
Okay, good.
She got it. No.
Like, but this is the correct way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then we have April here, who also is from Sacred Grounds and also does the name of your business.
I own Dragon's Gate Reiki.
I love it.
Thank you.
Sometimes I say Reiki and sometimes I pronounce it different, and so I always
Just more elegant, I'm sure.
no.
Is it French?
Yeah.
Is it Italian?
It's whatever you want it to be.
There we go. But you also are from Sacred Grounds. You operate out of Sacred Grounds.
I do. I rent a space down there. I teach yoga out of there.
Practice.
I hang out there.
I'm there.
We do.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited because do you guys know what tomorrow is?
I do.
What is tomorrow? Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
What is tomorrow?
I'm so excited. I'm proud sponsor of Pride over here, Dragon's Gate Reiki. So tomorrow's Pride,
Which is like
a huge day of celebration, festivities, fun, inclusion, community under Sky Point tomorrow.
it's gonna be amazing.
Good times. Good times.
So excited. Like, you have no idea how excited I am. And my favorite thing about Pride, and if you've been paying attention to the show, Billings, here's the deal. Like, you've heard me talk about Pride quite a bit. Sherry's just over here like, yeah. We've talked about it every day this week. Yeah, every day. But my favorite thing about Pride is that it is all about being you and being accepted for you. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your ethnicity. It doesn't matter how you identify. It's about celebrating like the fact that we are all here and we are together.
Yeah.
Well, and the flip side of that is too celebrating others, because in a culture, in a world where it's all me, see me on social, see me on this, see me do this, you're celebrating others that are different and proud of themselves. And I think that's my favorite part is look at you, look at what you're doing.
You're great.
Yes,
We
yes,
gotta be great.
yes.
And you can be safe. Please come out. And that's in a lot of different meanings, right? Because you don't have to hide. This is this, and it's a great opportunity. Pride as a festivity is a great day for businesses to showcase with their booths that they are a safe space. Not just on Saturday, but all year round. So when you see these businesses downtown that are lining the streets, they're saying, hey, come see us. We support you. We are safe. And I think it really is about inclusion beyond the word pride, but we are proud to support you. We are proud to be a safe space for you.
And not just one day a year.
Correct. Absolutely.
Keyword safe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, and safety is so huge. I mean, like, safety transcends everything. Whether it's where you do business, whether it is where you live, whether it is your family. I am a huge supporter of chosen family because if you've listened to the show, you know some of my background and the familial things that have happened. But like, when you have that safety, you feel empowered to also be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Absolutely.
And that's what pride means to me. So Damien, what does pride mean to you?
So, like many of you guys said, pride is for me, it's inclusion, being a man of color and seeing what not only men and women of color face, as well as individuals of gender types face. It means a lot to me. It means, once again, the safety and the collection of all beings being one. All right. So what do they say? What do they use? Love all. Oh gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? It's with pride.
Like, you gotta give me some.
No, I know.
clues.
I can't, but I'll remember. I will remember and I'll say it. Yeah, I'll remember it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's one love. That's what it means to me. One love.
Yeah. So that's a perfect segue into, because April brought up like certain businesses, like the businesses that have these booths that are down under Sky Point. Mind you, the parade has a different time, and I know I've said this multiple times all week long. It is at noon. It is not earlier like it has been historically.
Yes.
This is the first year the parade starts at noon.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's what it is. Love is love. I found it. It's right in my brain.
Damien for
Sorry.
the win.
It happens to be all
Yes.
the time where I'm like, okay, we'll come back as soon as I switch topics. It'll
Right.
pop up and then I'll be fine.
Yes,
It's
yes.
okay.
All right, sorry.
No. Hey, but it's so true. But yeah, so the parade, that's funny.
The parade.
The parade uh, is at noon instead of earlier. I think previous years it's been at 10. Pretty much, I think every year that I've gone to the parade. So this year it is a little bit later, and they're doing a whole bunch of totally cool new things. They're having an after party,
Oh.
which sounds amazing.
Yes,
We'll see. Are you going to be there?
I will.
If you
I'm
survive
tearing down
all
my-
of the day.
I'm tearing down my booth. Yes, I'll be there.
Well, but back to the businesses. So this is why I specifically I walked into Sacred Grounds. I was like, "Hey, Damien, let's
Hey.
talk."
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh, my schedule is so busy, Leah." And I was like, "But you love hanging out with me on the radio."
Of course. I'm here.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So I went in because I was like, hey, I want to highlight some businesses that are safe spaces throughout the year, not just on this one day during June, this one very celebratory day,
Right.
And not even just during the month of June, but places that are safe for people to come and hang out. Because oftentimes, if you, depending on how you identify, depending on what your background is, what you look like.
Mhm.
Let's be honest, I hate it. I'm sure you both hate it. I hate being judged by my looks, but that's the society we live in. Is
Mhm.
people base their first impression on how you look. And if you're exploring and trying to figure out your identity and how you want to express yourself to the world, you need those safe spaces.
Absolutely.
And Sacred Grounds
Sacred grounds.
is a safe space.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and it this morning, every day something new happens. Every time I step into the shop. It was this morning I was serving coffee and someone came in and her father passed away. Okay. And she said, number one, and I love this, sorry, I'm an emotional guy.
No, you're good.
Thank you for being here. Number one. And the second thing she says, I'm so happy you're here. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be feeling more, what was the word she used? She said she wasn't feeling more spirited, you know? So her spirit was lifted every time she walks in there. And that was her third time in there.
Oh.
And, you know, and her father just passing away a couple of days ago, it meant a lot for me because once again, it's not only a safe space, but a place you can be yourself and come in and just hang, chill, and let it go, you know? So really excited.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I always tell people, I'm like, I have the best job because every day, every guest I bring on changes my perspective. And some guests come on, even just this week, like you said, like you were like, I'm an emotional guy. I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
I had another guest on this week who, shout out JT Bearded Viking Mead. And he was like telling his story and he was just like, I'm sorry that this affects me so much. And he started crying a little bit on air. And I was like, don't be sorry. Express yourself. And if you feel safe, whether it's in my studio or whether it's at Sacred Grounds or wherever you are in the community, if you feel safe to express yourself, that means the world.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to tell you no.
Yeah. I don't want you to come in there express yourself raging and everything.
Well, maybe
knocking
not
things
that,
down,
but
but yeah,
some
I
of
get
those
it.
strong emotions that
Right.
we tend to, as a society, hold inside and not express. I think that it's really important.
Yeah. Agreed. People need to let it go sometimes.
You do. You just need, which is a fantastic segue into what you do with Reiki. You're like, what did I do? What did I do?
That wasn't in the list of questions, was it?
I don't prepare
I was
No,
like,
you
actually,
don't.
we
That's
even
why
know
that
what
was
we're getting
yeah.
into, so.
because I don't know. I like the facilitation of like we'll see where the conversation takes us.
It's organic.
Yeah.
Agree.
It's organic.
Yep, agree.
Nothing scripted. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Like if it's too scripted, like people will pick up on that.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I make mistakes.
Right.
My show is Adventures in Heels with Leah, and every day I'm like, well, this is the misadventure that I had. Well, being out and about in society and community. So I've asked you this question before, April. We have a lot of listeners who probably have no idea what Reiki means, or maybe they've heard the term and they're like, that's like. I'm gonna use the phrase you've probably heard. That's a little woo-woo-y.
Yeah.
So, how do you describe like what you do? Because it does have to do with the emotions and with the like what you're feeling.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I call it hippy dippy stuff. So we're on the same page.
It's like woo-woo-y, hippy dippy, the stuff.
So Reiki translated is universal life energy, and it is. Every practitioner does it differently. I always tell people that, because we're human beings, of course. I do use a gentle hands-on technique, and so it's not massage, but we do, when we're in a session, the moment you walk into my office, you're receiving Reiki. But in a session, I'm touching focal points of your body to help release emotions. I don't want to say trauma, but trauma, right? Because I do want to emphasize I'm not a therapist, right? Yeah, your body keeps the score. That's the greatest way to describe it.
It's also a fantastic book.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic book. And that's why I dropped that. Like, we store things in our body, memories, trauma, all of it, good and bad, it's all there. And we need to let that stuff go. And it's very difficult in our day-to-day. I'm incredibly busy. Good busy is still busy. And it's hard to find time to take care of ourselves. So during a session, you're hands-on technique and these certain focal points to start helping your body to release those things energetically. And I always tell people, if you don't buy into it, if you're like, you know what, that's not real. Okay, well, it's 30 to 60 minutes of just a great relaxation. Your body's almost reaching like a meditative state, and the body heals best when it rests. That's science. That's not witchy-woo. That's fact.
Yeah.
And so you'll leave feeling rest and restored and rejuvenated, and off you go. Now, if you do buy into it, which I sure hope you do, because you're wasting some money there. You leave feeling all of that, but you'll also start to recognize, whoa, that did feel good. A lot of people, at the end, we circle back after the session and talk about it. And it's amazing what people experience. They'll talk about like the releases they did feel, the things they see. Sometimes people see colors. They've seen things they remember, things like that.
Memories
exactly. So people do have releases that they are able to recognize. But it's just important to know each of us are different. And there's just stuff that we have to be able to willing to let go of is really important. I can't go to counseling and be like, I'm here, I'm showing up, but I'm not putting in the work, right?
Right.
So that's.
And I like that how you phrased it. You were like, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a counselor. However, like this is still science backed. And especially because Billings has quite a few Reiki masters. And everyone does it a little bit differently.
Yes.
I like that you specifically were like, I use a hands-on approach. Some people don't. Some people it's hands-off, and it's, you're going to check in throughout your personal body as we go through the session. Whereas for me personally, I think that there is so much to be said about human touch. And we were just talking about how we're losing the art of conversation these days because everything's digital.
Yeah.
We're also losing the art of human touch, of being able to be like, hey, I can see there's something going on with you. I'm going to give you a hug. And my favorite thing these days is I'm giving you a long 8-second hug because I want your brain chemistry to start to change. It takes that long.
Awesome.
It's so true. And I always, when I have talked to other people, professionals or friends, and we talk about the hands-on technique, and they ask like, how does that work? It's like, think about holding hands with somebody or a hug. A lot of people truly in today's society, I hate to say it, do not experience healthy touch, or those that have experienced trauma did not get to experience early on healthy touch. And so a hands-on technique, hand massages, those kinds of things work wonders for people that have experienced trauma, and you're looking to teach your body what it feels like to experience healthy touch, you know,
in a
healing.
safe environment that they know this is not like one of the things that I think about when I think of healthy touch and the lack of a healthy touch is a lot of people have experienced touch in a manipulative sort of way. Like touch has been used to get them to do something, or I have friends, like I tell people, I'm like, I'm a touchy person. I will touch you. I will hug you.
Yeah.
You know, depending on if I'm out and about having a good time, I'll probably touch you more.
I gotta ask for permission.
Right? Like it's just a thing. Like I'm gonna touch you, and my friends all know that. But I do have to like remember, I'm like, some people that has been used against them.
Yeah.
And having an environment, having a room that is designed to facilitate that release and that really that healing is really, really impactful. So
Great.
yeah. Plus I just think you're amazing. So
Oh,
there's
thank you.
that.
I appreciate it. I feel the same.
You know, us with the shaved heads, we gotta stick together.
We actually really do.
Right, Damien? I mean, you.
Well, yeah. Hey, look at that, right? I get it.
Oh my gosh, it's a whole thing. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Now I don't know that I'll ever be able to grow my hair out. People recognize me now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's true.
oh, here we go.
It looks great on you, though.
Thank you.
It does.
You know, it's
I
all
like
thanks to my partner. He shaves my head for me
Thank you.
because I don't think I could do it myself. It's a thing.
And he's a rock star.
And so there's that. There's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the like, still keeping the conversation, because I always tell people, I'm like, I tend to like dive deep with my
All right,
conversations,
let's go.
which I really, really, it all goes into that. Like we're losing the art of conversation and genuine meeting when it comes to conversation, like the give and take
Understood,
and the
yeah.
like, hey, let's talk about a hard topic. So that being said,
I gotta go.
Damien's out.
he's like, wait, you didn't prepare me for this.
I know, what am I getting at?
Come on. No, I mean, we've talked before. You know
Yes,
me.
we have,
I'm
absolutely.
not gonna get too bad.
I know. Very good.
But this is also like we were talking before you guys came on, historic week too.
Yeah.
And not just because it's Pride, but we're celebrating a lot of things in June that are topics that a lot of people don't like to talk about.
Yeah.
I brought up Juneteenth right before you came on, and I was
there
like,
you go. Yeah.
hey, this is another one of those topics I've probably explained, like I was saying earlier, like, I don't know, probably 5, 6, 7 people.
Yeah.
Like what that is. Because they're like, why are we celebrating this? Like,
Yeah.
why is my bank closed?
Right.
And I'm like, this is really important.
Yeah. So not too long ago, the U.S. made it a federal holiday, right? So those that don't know what Juneteenth is the it's the freedom of Black people in slavery. You know, so the government came in and said, "Hey, I'm going to put it in layman terms. You get to go.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right. We
and
said
you
this
are
a couple
free.
years ago.
Yeah,
We
You
need
needed
it.
to stop doing this. and
yeah.
you're still
But
doing it.
we're actually going to do it now.
Yeah,
You know, and
Yeah.
so it is a very prideful thing amongst Black people, people of color, and allies. I always have to say allies because there are so many of allies out there helping support this amazing thing that happened many moons ago, right? And so Black people, those that are unapologetically Black and those that are just mainstream, I mean, they get together and we celebrate a time of freedom. And that's the bottom line. You know, and so between the arts, the culture, the music, the people, the food, I mean, everyone is
The
brought together, the
traditions.
traditions. That's right. So Black Heritage Foundation just had it this past week. I emceed it. It was absolutely amazing. I heard, I wasn't there last year, but I heard it pretty much doubled from last year.
That's amazing.
And it's going to grow, and it's going to continue to grow. And it's about education too, and it's obvious Montana is pretty vanilla, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm just kind of say that. I mean, it's,
No,
I'm
you
just
say it.
saying. I think just looking around right now in this room, right? And so honestly, it's a time for Black people to come out and educate, and those that want to understand and be part of it. It's a time for everyone to grow together.
Absolutely.
So like Pride, it's once again one of those things, and I'm going to hear it from people. Don't compare Pride, don't compare Black people. It is what it is. But the point is, it's the acceptance.
I think
Thank
the acceptance
you.
is
So
the connection.
right, exactly. I mean, we've all gone through our things, right?
Yeah,
Everyone has
repression
gone through
is
something.
repression.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. I like
It
that.
is.
And it truly is. But for Black people, it is a time for freedom, and we are proud to celebrate that.
Well, and as a brought up middle class, very translucent white chick with red hair that did all that cowgirl, if we can get any more vanilla, it's me. I was always, young and not understanding all of it. Very felt like that wasn't for me. I shouldn't be included. That's for other people because I don't understand. And that is so not true.
Yeah.
It is not. It's you can relate on so many levels. And as being a very vanilla white chick, I've experienced some of the exact same instances in my life in different ways. So I think it's really important to know, even if you're not Black, you're not a different color, you're not Pride, if you don't, whatever it is, there is always a way to relate to being different from someone else. And so take the step, be brave, go check it out, because I promise you will be able to relate and you will meet some great people, and it's so much fun, and it's just fun to celebrate others.
And I'm on the business sense of things too. So
right.
For me, within EXP Realty, I was one of the founding members of our diversity and inclusion, as well as a Black EXT network. And we say that diversity makes dollars and cents.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Because without the different cultures, without the knowing of the different education, the values and the history, and from other people coming in from different parts of the world, from different parts of the state coming to Montana, we won't grow, and we won't understand, and we won't financially become stronger together. Right.
So
I love that.
Well, and don't let a small circumstance that happened to you judge a whole group. Because the reality is we've all had bad circumstances with everyone, no matter what they look like or what they talk like or where they're from. So don't let that hinder you from meeting some amazing people.
I got a quick story. Do you have time? Oh, we can wait.
Yes.
We can wait. We
We
can take a break. We can wait. We can definitely wait. I got excited about this one.
Billings, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back. I was like, I do got to get my breaks in,
The supporters and sponsors, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. So, yeah. See, I always get.
Great job, by the way.
Dig deep.
Yeah, you do. I walked in there with, okay. We were joking, like, okay, you're going to talk real estate, and I'm going to talk modalities.
Yeah,
And we're going to be funny. We're going to be like, I'm going to be like,
the full moon.
Yeah, that's right.
And then market rates are.
And we haven't gotten to either of them.
Right, exactly.
I have a question that we should bring up, so I'm going to give you time to think about it.
Okay.
What do you do with the person that has the big bubble? Because I'm that person.
What do you mean a big bubble?
Like I wasn't into hugging until my pastor's wife said, Sherry, I'm going to hug you and you're going to get used to it. Like, so
big
that
bubble.
person
Like
so then what does that look like for what? Because obviously people that don't really go for lots of touch, like I don't even like facials. I am a hugger though, so I am an oxymoron. But like how do you
You just
ease them into all of it is what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense.
usually they're at least curious enough they made an appointment.
Exactly,
Right? So
right.
they're open to something. And so I just carry on and honor energetically what that body is receptive to. So we're going to walk through the appointment just like normal. And honestly, as we walk through it, it's like, okay, we're going to go here. And it's really honestly no different because the body receives what it's willing to receive. You know, it's the
Gotcha.
facilitator of healing. Like whatever you're willing to get out of it, you are. But I'm that person. I don't want to be hugged. I hate being hugged. Like, seriously. So I get it.
Like this morning, that
Yeah.
woman came in. She's like, "Can I give you a hug?" She's like bawling,
Oh.
you know, and she needed it,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It took me a long
Yeah.
time to get, because we just weren't a physical touch family.
Yeah.
We showed love in different ways. And so my sweet pastor's wife, and now I hug everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
But up until that point, it was not something that you did.
yeah.
was
So as I'm listening
comfortable
to this whole process, I'm like, okay, but if you're not a hugger and don't be afraid, try it anyway. Because I know she's got you.
It's not too bad. And I experienced a lot of trauma, so I don't like being touched. But I trust one person, that's Catherine with our Kaya Shakti. I trust her with my body work.
I love
but-
Katie. So
amazing.
I still call her Katie. I knew Katie when she was
Yeah.
with.
So
the same pastor's wife. Yes. Like,
you find,
love her.
you find your people.
Right?
But I always figure if they made an appointment, they were curious enough.
I like that.
Very true. Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
It is. It really is.
I love it so much. We have like one more commercial and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
Do you still have the story that you have in mind?
Yes, I do. I got it.
I always
It'll be
forget.
super quick. It'll be
Yeah,
super
I always forget. And so then I'm like, okay, someone else has to remind me what I was going to say.
Yes. My latest trick is to start a sentence and then forget the last half.
I need to carry all my notepads with me. I have a learning disability. My memory is really. I remember, so I always have to write
It's
stuff
a
down.
Whole, yeah, it is a whole
Yeah.
thing. I'm getting text messages. I have to do the thing. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry, Taylor Swift, but we have bigger things and better things to talk about.
Speaking
Okay.
of vanilla.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I was gonna go there, but
Since I did.
it's okay. Oh my gosh. Before we went to break, though, you had a story that you were like,
Alright.
"Do we have time?" And I was like, "Well, let's take a break
She
first."
booted me to the right. Fix it
So-
right. Yeah. Okay. Real quick. So, Black Lives Matter. You remember
Mhm,
we had the
mhm.
thing downtown, and my wife is white, and so should we go? Should we go? Should we go? I'm like, yeah, we're going. You know,
You're like, yes.
and so. And as we're walking up, and I think we had our smallest daughter at that time. We're walking up, and I'm like, I'm a little bit tense. You know, I don't know what's going on because once again, cluster of Black people right here and around us is right. There's cops are moving up, and then there's these militants. I mean,
I remember
And-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I
and-
was down there too.
and I was like, all right, I'm ready to throw. I'm a gun carrier. I'm ready to throw, right? And so I've got my daughter close to me, and I got my wife right next to me. I said, honey, let's go. We're just going to walk past them, all right? And so guy looked at me right in my eyes, and he said, we got you, man. Don't worry about it. We got you. I was like, what in the hell? Where did that come from? And it made me so proud, especially being here now for almost 20 years, being a Montanan, knowing
Mhm.
that there are really some amazing allies and people out here.
Yes.
So
yes.
that was my quick story for you.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And plus, like, that's the thing. Speaking of like pride, for me, so I have been on like both sides of the spectrum when it comes to the acceptance. How I grew up was this is your role and this is what you have to do. And if you divert from that role, like that is not okay and you will not be accepted in this family and in like public. And so I've come obviously full circle from that. And now some of these events, like I tell people, I'm like, even if you don't count yourself as an ally, you like don't tell me that, well, I'm just not going to go because that's like I don't agree with it.
Right.
If you haven't gone down there and seen what it's about, you don't get to say that. Like come see what it is about. It's not what you think. It is about acceptance.
Seek to
It is
understand.
seek to understand.
Mhm.
It is
Yeah.
about those moments when there's one person who is lost doesn't feel accepted, doesn't feel like they have a community, and having one person be like, hey, man, I got you.
Yeah. Love that.
Like, that's what it's about. It's about finding those people. So yeah, like I said, full circle
Let's go.
from where I was and how I grew up to where I am now, where I'm like, hey, I've got you. Like, I may not identify like you do. I may not look like you do. I may not be searching for my identity in the world that we live in, the crazy world that we live in. But like, I got you.
Yeah, it takes one moment, one time, one person. Right.
Oh,
Right.
Did you just come up with that?
I did. I swear.
Oh my
No, I
goodness.
swear, because I'm thinking everything that you're saying right now. It was that one moment, that one time, that one person. Right. And I'm gonna coin that one.
Yeah.
I'm
There
holding
you
on to
go.
that.
I was like,
I'm
seriously.
coining that one. Hey, I got it. But no, seriously, you never know what happens and who you're going to meet in life to help change and turn that ship, that large ship in your life that has been damaged.
Yeah, that has been damaged.
Great.
Whether it is coming down to Pride on Saturday, tomorrow, believe it or not, we've made it through another week, and it is tomorrow. I'm sure you both are like, hey guys, like we have been prepping for this. There is so much work involved.
So it is extensive.
Right? But it is tomorrow. So the parade starts at noon. You're going to have your booth set up.
I am. Catherine with our Kaya Shakti is right beside me. We'll be in front of Montana Brew Pub. This year they, I think, have more vendors than they have ever had. I mean, it's insanity.
It's super exciting.
And in a good way, right? Like, this is amazing. We love seeing this kind of support, right? That's what it should be every year. So I'm super pumped up about it.
So for someone that's never been,
Okay.
walk us through the event. Like, what can you expect?
She's so excited.
And
Okay. So the parade's at 12 and it's fabulous. I mean, we're talking just so much color and joy and excitement. And then the event starts at 1. And what the event looks like is just farmers market with rainbows everywhere. Truly, there's just booths everywhere. These different types of vendors. So there'll be, you'll have like people like myself that I hand make everything. And then you'll have vendors that are maybe less artisan, but just still amazing products. So vendors of everything. I mean, clothing, name it, it's down there. And then there's food trucks galore, and that's from 1 to 7. And there will be down under Sky Point, I believe, a stage with like drag show and singing and dancing and yes, there's concert stuff all day. And then at 7 when it closes down, I believe it's at 8 is when we kick off the after party. Just imagine more rainbow, more fun.
But the after party is 18 plus. So you will get your ID will get checked. So please have your ID on you.
And it's so much. I want to emphasize this because some people paint a picture that's not accurate about what goes on at Pride festivities.
right. And that's why I asked the question. Like,
it is family friendly. In a place that I have 6 children. I bring my kids. Like, this is safe. This is fun. Everyone, for instance, last year, Catherine and I were also side by side. We're handing out water for free to people. We want to make sure everyone is safe, hydrated. And we're not the only booth doing that. These are people that genuinely care about the community.
Sunscreen, water.
Awesome.
Just so much fun. Activities for kids everywhere. I mean, it's colorful and fun. So wear sunscreen. It's going to be 80? Yeah. And come down and enjoy the fun, please.
It's gonna be hot.
It is going to be hot.
And resources, community resources everywhere. I know Riverstone is there. There's usually like counseling services. There's just a wealth of support everywhere. Rainbow Coffee House, I want to give them a shout out. They're great for queer youth. They will be there. So just awesome. Anything you can imagine. Yeah. There.
It is just, it's amazing. It is, I don't know. Yeah. I can't say enough good things. And the one thing that like I do want to bring up, because a lot of people, when we're talking about Pride, and especially I would say the last like 3-4 years, the conversation has been really tense on the celebrations, because there have been celebrations throughout the country that have been unsafe.
Right.
Where
right.
people have taken it upon themselves to come and be aggressive, to put it mildly. And so one of the things like with Billings is I have never experienced an unsafe pride
No.
in Billings. There are people who are, I actually had Marcus on earlier this week, and we were talking about, hey, there are people who are trained in like de-escalation, and they're wandering the event, and if they see something, they're going to step in to de-escalate the situation if someone doesn't feel safe. And I just always like to emphasize that because it is about safety.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
That's
the whole
awesome.
point is to have that safe space.
Yeah. And I will say last year, so we have downtown resource officers, especially trained for downtown.
Mhm.
They were all over last
They're
year,
amazing.
and I'm sure they'll be there this year. And
Mhm.
BPD, my understanding, has already, they're always prepared for this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, say what you will, but these folks, they know what they're doing.
And they know what
take
to look
care.
for.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. Last year was safe. The year before that, I've been involved for 3 years as a vendor, not a
Mhm.
participant, but as a vendor, and it has gone off without a hitch.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
ready.
awesome.
I'm excited. I trust our law enforcement to take really good care of us, and I have no doubts it'll be just fine.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I'll be down there. You'll be down there.
Yeah.
You could be
Damien.
there. I'll be down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'll be
gonna
down
be
there.
fantastic.
You'll
I
see.
figured.
You'll at least see me.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. We really do. At the end of the day, I know it's scary in this world, but we have a good community. When you look at the
Yes.
number to number, the good outweighs the scary.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think that's important for people to know
Yeah.
too. That I mean, it is about diversity and it's about inclusion of everyone.
Mhm.
And yeah, because a lot of people don't think like that. They think because I'm not a Braves fan, I can't go to the Braves baseball game. Not true, right?
Support.
Like-
show people that you are an ally or that you're at least not an oppressor. Come and enjoy and
Right.
seek to understand.
That's right.
Yeah.
And come support these businesses. Like, come and have fun, enjoy the food, get out of the house and enjoy this weather. Like, just enjoy downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Billings.
Yeah.
Farmers
Amazing.
market with
Yes.
rainbows.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yes,
That's
yes,
perfect. Like, I was gonna have to steal that one too. Like, okay.
Honestly, that's how safe it is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's fantastic, and it is right underneath Sky Point. It takes
Yeah.
over that entire, I don't know, like what 3-block
Oh,
area.
I don't know. It's like a giant
It's
T
huge,
of
yeah.
vendors. It's massive on the map.
Yeah,
it's
That's awesome.
fantastic.
it's amazing. Oh my gosh. And also throughout the year, like I said, if you were looking for those safe spaces,
Mhm.
sacred grounds,
Thank you.
totally
All
safe.
inclusive, non denominational. Let's go.
Yes.
Everyone's included. Everyone's accepted. You know.
Plus, it just is, if you
Amazing
walk
coffee.
in, I was like, we didn't even get to talking about the coffee. Oh my gosh. And all of the events, because you guys have been here, there, and
Woo,
everywhere.
we've
with
been
events.
busy. Yes. Yeah. We've been pretty busy.
Yeah. I do want to point out though, but as we kind of wrap up, one of the big things, you are now officially located in
Yes. Right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes,
Hopefully?
that was-
Okay, we're talking about the same thing. Okay, make sure we're talking about the same thing. Alright, you don't know anything else that I know of, right?
yeah, are working on the
So so all next week is about prep, and then we'll do like a little bit of soft opening on Thursday, and then Friday we officially kick it. You know,
That's
we'll be
awesome.
announcing. Well, we're announcing it now, I guess. We'll be announcing that we'll be in the zoo. We have some a lot of the favorites called different things, and it's pretty cute.
I love it.
Fun.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's gonna be
so you've got to explain what Turkish coffee is, though.
Okay. All right, Mackenzie, don't hate me. Mackenzie's my business partner over there. So it's a brewing style. All right,
Okay.
Middle Eastern brewing style. So we have the Turkish coffee, which we have the Ibrik. All right, that's what it goes into, and then we have the espresso powder.
Okay.
All right, and then we have the brown sugar, and we put the hot water in the Ibrik, and it's in sand, which is
Mhm.
between 215 and 220 degrees, and we have to let it brew slowly at least 3 times over. All right, not over the cup into the sand, but making a brew, we take it out and then we pour it into an insulated glass, and you can have. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mackenzie. I'm sure you will. Cinnamon, which is the Egyptian, and the Greek, which is the codlon, which is my favorite. Yeah,
Okay, so what is
it's
codlon?
great. Codlon?
Yeah,
It's another Middle Eastern spice.
it's a spice. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's a
kind of
spice.
got a zing to it.
Yeah. It's I don't even know. It's a
not
different
like a
flavor.
spicy spice.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's a Middle Eastern flavor. It's amazing. I put in almost every one of my coffees, even if it doesn't need it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I've had it in the
Nice.
Montana fog, and it was really good.
Yeah. Yeah, check it
Awesome,
out. Check it out.
Awesome.
I'm not sure. I don't think we're the only ones anymore doing it, but I think we do it better.
But it's a thing. It's one of those experiences though. So if you haven't gone to Sacred Grounds and experienced it, it is really, really cool. And it is a process. Like there's an art to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Which I think like
It's so cool.
we have to keep those arts alive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we have to keep people who have never experienced them seeing them. Like I just think that's so important.
Well, we gotta understand. I mean, even now, there are some people that probably hasn't even left Yellowstone County.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
so
true.
bringing something like Sacred Grounds, which is full of culture and amazing, diverse people, and when you walk in, you're like, and I know all my new people that walk in, they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is,"
Yeah.
and they're pointing up in the sky because we have all the decorations and everything.
Which I
So-
love that the's just like stuff
Yeah.
hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you walk in and you're like, I'm in a rainforest. This is
Right,
nice.
right,
I
right.
like this.
So that's Mackenzie. I can't take any credit for that. His mind is absolutely
It's absolutely
amazing.
creative.
Yeah, very,
Well, and
very
it is at
great.
a great location.
Thank
It is
you.
so easy to get to from wherever you're at in Billings or outside of Billings, and there's so much in there.
Thank you.
And who doesn't love to be in a happy place? I'm just saying, with
those
a happy
wondering.
place with diversity
Right.
and culture.
Yeah.
I'm all about
It's a happy
the unique.
place.
Yeah.
2950 King Avenue, if we haven't mentioned that. That's
Yeah,
where
that
it's
was
well
where I was
located.
gonna wrap
I always
up.
say
All right.
over by Firehouse, and I always want to give them a shout out because
Yeah.
those guys are so good to us.
Yes.
Fantastic food, but also some of the best service in town.
Mhm.
So I always give them props because they're the best.
They
Yep.
are.
Right
Yeah.
next to there's Firehouse Subs. There's the new
lingerie
Park.
space,
yeah,
right?
Nothing
Yeah.
but good about
Those
them.
ladies are amazing.
Oh yeah, I've been
Yeah.
in there. They're gonna come on my show. I
Oh, sweet.
got this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're-
yeah. I
They,
was like,
they got this great setup. I can't wait for you to talk to them about it.
Oh, yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
cool.
it is amazing. And then we have Pierce Flooring, the showroom, and then Sacred Grounds.
Yeah, that's us.
So like
Yeah.
all in the same area.
Yeah.
It's easy to find.
Tons of parking.
Tons of parking.
Yeah, I am grateful for the parking.
Event space.
Yes.
Event
Yeah.
space too.
Yeah.
If you were looking to host an event, they
Thank
had the Grove.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah, all of the fun things. But like you said, we will all be down there at Pride this weekend.
Yep.
Come find us. Say hi.
Yes.
Yes.
See you there.
Hey.
It is going to be amazing. Thank you so much. I always have fantastic interviews.
Thanks for having us
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you for having us.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Billings, we're going to take a break. We will be right back.
Outstanding. Great.